Okay, hello everyone. Hello Sernandia and friends. Today we from Group 6 would like to present about media strategy designs. So before we start our presentation, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Yosbeka Selitaya Sarela Sinaga. I'm absent number 12 and my friends.
And my name is Sylvie Antisite. I'm number absent 9.
Okay, next. Okay. Topics to be covered on this topic are overview of media strategy and media planning, developing a media plan, market analysis and identification of target markets, setting media objectives, and developing and implementing media strategies. And then first
Okay.
topic will be led by my friends.
Okay, so the first is we are going to know about a little bit of explanation of media strategy. So as you guys can see, there are the diagrams. So this diagram basically explain the components of a media strategy and marketing, detailing how to effectively reach and engage an audience. So a media strategy starts by defining brand contact point, the moment when the audience interact with the brand across different media. This leads to developing a media plan, which include creating relevant concept and identifying potential challenges. The strategy then outline objective for our audience targeting. These objectives shape the selection of media channels. And also, finally, the media strategy involve budgeting to allocate resource effectively and audience measurement to evaluate engagement and impact, ensuring that the strategy meet its goals efficiently and resonates with the target audience. So next, here we are going to know about the media planning. After we know about the media strategy, the second is media planning. So in marketing communication, media planning is the strategy. So the other explanation of the media planning is about the process of designing a strategy to reach a target audience with marketing message in the most effective and affordable way. This involves choosing the right media channels and deciding when, where, and how to communicate. So the first, as we can see, the how is talking about the strategies and the method used to effectively reach the target audience. The second, when, is talking about the timing decision, planning when the target audience should be exposed to the campaign message to maximize effectiveness. And for the third is where, it's talk about the media channels and platforms selected to reach the target audience. So, on the other hand, media planning is a process which means a number of decisions are met, each of which may be altered or abandoned as the plan develops. So next, here are the challenges in the media planning. The first, there's a multitasking via multimedia on multiple screens. So people now use multiple devices at once, like phones and tablets, while watching TV or videos, making it harder for ads to grab attention. However, running campaign across these different screens can increase engagement and brand awareness. The second, the time pressures. So advertisers often need to act fast, especially when responding to competitors. Digital campaign allow quick changes, but this creates extra pressure on media planners to keep up and make real-time adjustment. And for the third is differences in measuring effectiveness. So the traditional measures like reach and frequency are being replaced by metrics like ROI and engagement. Since the consumer choose when to engage with content, advertiser now use data to target audience more precisely, ensuring their message reach the right people at the right time. And for the fourth, there is rapid technological changes. So, this is about developing the media plans. Here, talk about the analysis and target market identification. So, this data highlights how the steps of developing media. The first, there is the market analysis. The second, the establishment of media objective. And the third is media strategy development and implementation. And for the last step, there is an evaluation and follow-up. So in market analysis, the some points that should be known is the first, what shall we advertise to? The second is about what internal and external factors are operating. And for the third, where to promote the ads. And for the establishment of media objective is, the example is to reach 60% of the target audience at least 3 times over a 6-month period. The second is to use broadcast media to provide coverage of 80% of the target market over a 6-month period. And for the third example is to concentrate the heaviest advertising in winter and spring with lighter emphasis in summer and autumn. So next. Here we are moved to the setting media objective, efficiency, and frequency. So there's the data. So the data highlights how audience retention, timing, and behavior during different types of programming, especially in news and sport, effect and efficiency. So as shown in prime time for both news and sport retain a higher percentage of the higher audience. Early morning or mid-afternoon slots show higher losses due to people leaving the room or changing channels. This shows that media planners need to carefully choose the right time and type of programming to minimize wasted impression and maximize audience engagement. So using this information helps set media objective that focus on placing ads in slots where they will have the most impact. So for the second illustration in this page, there is the representation of reach and frequency. So in establishing reach and frequency objective, it is possible to be exposed to more than one media vehicle with an ad, resulting in repetition or frequency. If one ad is placed on a TV show one time, the number of people exposed is the reach. If the ad is placed on 2 shows, the total number exposed once is unduplicated reach. So some people will see the ad twice. The reach of the 2 shows displayed in this figure includes a number of people who were reached by both shows. This overlap is referred to as duplicate reach. So in media planning, frequency levels refer to the number of time an audience is exposed to an advertisement within a specific time frame. It is an essential metric that helps determine how often a message is repeated to ensure that it reaches and resonates with the target audience. So next. Here we are looking for some factor that important to frequency levels. Determine the effective reach for reach the frequency level is talking about balancing the trade-off between reach and frequency within budget constraint. So for new product, maximizing reach to create broad awareness is important, while higher frequency exposure is necessary for products with more complex benefits. Effectively reach refers to the percentage of the audience reach at an effective frequency. So typically between 3 to 10 exposure, as fewer than 3 may be insufficient, and more than 10 could lead to overexposure. However, within today's fragmented media landscape and higher ad exposure, some believe 12 exposure may now be needed. Factors like complexity, length, and resonance also affect the required frequency, while media planners must avoid message fatigue and overexposure to prevent wastage. So, the factors and marketing factors that we need to consider about to reach the frequency level is the first, the brand history. Is the brand new or established? New brands generally require higher frequency level. For the second is brand share. An inverse relationship exists between brand share and frequency. The higher the brand share, the lower the frequency level required. And there's also the other, like brand loyalty, purchase cycles, usage cycles, and competitive share off. For the next, considering about the message or creativity factors. The first, for the message complexity. The simpler the message, the less the frequency required. The second, message uniqueness. The more unique the message, the lower the frequency level required. And for the other, new versus continuing campaigns, image versus product sales, message variation, wear out, and advertising units. For the third, in media factors, the first is clutter. The more advertising that appears in the media use, the more frequency that is needed to break through the clutter. Second, there's the editorial environment. The more consistent the ad is with the editorial environment, the less frequency is needed. And the other is the attentiveness, the scheduling, the number of media use, and also the repeat exposures. Okay, so here we are looking for the time for communication the ad to the people who watching our ad. There is three types: the continuity, the flighting, and the pulsing. So for the continuity, it's the ad shown for January until the December. For flighting, not all of the 1 year month. So we can see it's like the January until April and then continue at June to September. And for the posting is same strategy as that too. And each strategy have their advantages and disadvantages. The continuity have the advantages, so serve as a constant reminder to the customer and allows for media priorities, like the quantity discount, preferred location, and so on. For the disadvantages, it also have the higher cost and potential for overexposure. For the second strategy is flighting. The advantages is cost efficiency or advertising only during purchase cycles and may allow for inclusion of more than one medium or vehicle while limited budgets. For the disadvantages is lack of awareness, interest, or retention of promotional message during non-scheduled times. So for the third methods is having the same advantages as the previous two methods, but for this, the disadvantages is not required for seasonal products or other classical products. So that's all for me. The next presentation will be led by Joshua.
Okay, thank you, Sylvie, for your explanation. Next, I will explain about setting media objectives, and there's one more topic for closing these materials. So in setting media objective, there are several steps that we need to fulfill to achieve these objectives, which is the first one is by defining target audience. This is the foundation of setting media objective, and it involves identifying the specific demographic, psychographic, geographic, and behavioral traits of the audience you want to reach. Accurate targeting ensures that the media efforts resonate with and reach the right audience segment. And the next one is establishing reach and frequency goals. Reach in this term refers to the percentage of the target audience that will see or hear the campaign at least once within a specific period. And frequency indicates the number of times a target audience is exposed to the message. The balance between reach and frequency help decides how many people see the message and how often they encounter it, aiming for enough repetitions to create awareness without oversaturation. Next. Okay, the next one is setting specific measurable objectives. The goals should be clear, specific, and measurable. For instance, objectives could be to achieve a 20% increase in brand awareness within 6 months, or to drive a 15% increase in online traffic from targeted media channels. And the next one is determining timing and duration. Media objectives often include the timing and duration of exposure. Deciding when the audience is most receptive to the message, which means seasonal, day parting, or etc., maximizes the impact. Scheduling also relates to the timing of promotions or product launches. Next. The next one is allocating budget for media spend. Setting a budgetary objective ensures the media efforts are financially sustainable and realistic. It includes distribution across channels, determining which platforms deliver the best return on investment, and ensuring sufficient resources to achieve the desired reach and frequency. And the next one is defining desired action or response. Objectives should also include the intended action you want the audience to take, such as visiting a website, subscribing, purchasing, or increasing engagement. This makes it easier to track the effectiveness of the campaign. Next, the next topic is developing and implementing media strategies. There are several steps. The first one is defining objectives and goals. Sorry? At this moment, objective serves as the foundation, outlining what media strategy aims to achieve, such as increasing brand awareness, driving sales, or enhancing customer engagement. And the goals that we use in here is SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, that are essential to track progress. And the second one is identifying the target audience, which is by audience analysis, customer persona development, and media consumption habits. Next. Okay, the next step is by choosing the right media channels. We choose two type of how to choose the right media channels, which is the first one is the own media, earned media, and paid media. And then the second one is the channel's suitability. And the fourth step is to message strategy and creative execution. This includes of three things, which is the first one is message development, which involves creating a clear, compelling message that resonates with the target audience's needs and values. And the second one is content tone and style, which is messaging the tone should align with the brand identity. And the last one is creative assets, which is depending on the media. Assets like visual, videos, audio, and written content are tailored to optimize engagement on each channel. Next. The fifth strategy is by media planning and budget allocation. Media planning is by media mix selection, is determining the percentage of the budget for each channel based on expected performance and audience reach. Second one is budget allocation, by allocating funds strategically across channels to maximize ROI. And the last one is frequency and timing, by dividing how often the ads appear and at what times for maximum audience exposure. And the sixth strategy is by implementation and execution, which includes of three things. Is the first one is setting up campaigns, second one is cross-channeling synchronization, and the third one is adaptation for platforms. Next. The seventh strategies is monitoring and optimization, which is the first one is by real-time analytics, by monitoring KPIs such as reach, impressions, and click-through rate, engagement, and conversion rate to evaluate the campaign's immediate performance. Next one is A/B testing, which is testing variations of content or ads to see which elements work best with the audience. And the last one is adjustment and refinement. And the eighth strategy is evaluation and reporting, by doing post-campaign analysis, insights and learning, and documenting best practices. Next. And finally, the last strategy that we need to develop and implement is the refinement for future strategies, which is by using customer feedback and trends, by doing post-campaign, understanding audience feedback, and tracking emerging media trends can be also valuable. Trends like the rise of short-form videos or new platforms such as a new social media app can shape upcoming media strategies. And the very last one is long-term strategy adjustment, which is media strategy is dynamic, so adjusting long-term approaches to accommodate shifts in audience behavior, competitive landscape, and technological changes is crucial. Okay, next. I think that's all for our presentation. We thank you so much for your attention, and we hope you enjoy and understand our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.